for. PALAMARCHUK of Ukraine decided not to race. So that leaves Itzhak Mamisvalov for Israel. Aristeidis, MAKRODIMITRIS from Greece in lane 3. And then lane 5, now the fastest seed in this first heat. ZOU Liankang China. And Ukraine's BONDARENKO will swim for the first time. He's got 3 events at these Paralympic Games. This will be his debut. Now the world record standing by Matsmalov and Kokorev. We have S1 and S2 swimmers going in this competition, hence the 2 world records. And in this first heat we have the world record holder for the S1 going in lane 2, Mamisvalov from Israel, the only S1 swimmer competing in this competition. And his world record stands for 57.79, but the best he's performed this year, a couple of seconds outside of that for the 37-year-old Israeli. So the fastest seed now will be ZOU Liankang, making his debut at these Paralympic Games for the People's Republic of China, but already been on the podium. The men's 200-meter freestyle S2, the first heat of the 2 heats here, and into a relaxed-looking stroke. ZOU Liankang showed his skill in the backstroke over the 100, and he got crowned Paralympic champion early on at these Rio 2016 Games, and a second gold medal he added in the 4x50 mixed relay. So a great first Paralympic Games for the athlete from the People's Republic of China, and off to a great start now. Well, we have PALAMARCHUK, the Ukrainian, going alongside in lane 4.
Well, taking it up to the wall at the 50 here. It is ZOU's just ahead. PALAMARCHUK touching outside, just inside a second outside the time of the Chinese swimmer, in a race in which MAKRODIMITRIS of Greece is already withdrawn. Mamisvalov of Israel going along in lane 2, touches 4th fastest overall, but an S1 swimmer. BONDARENKO touches 3rd overall, and he is midway between the 2 leading the way, ZOU and PALAMARCHUK, and indeed Mamisvalov and
PALAMARCHUK giving ZOU a run for his money at the halfway point. And these 2 both are on the podium in the 100-meter backstroke, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half of this race and who has the endurance. PALAMARCHUK taking the bronze in the 100 behind ZOU, who topped the podium, but very little separating these 2 at the moment. ZOU was first to turn, but coming out of the wall, PALAMARCHUK of Ukraine maybe has a little bit more endurance than the Chinese athlete. He is the fastest seed in this race.
He had a really good turn, did PALAMARCHUK. Serhii PALAMARCHUK just turned it on very nicely. The bronze medalist from the 100 back. Great on the turn, in fact. He just got away from the Chinese swimmer a little, although making up for it with the alternating arm movement. The Chinese swimmer doesn't get a full rotation of the arm straight. The wrist and the hand pumped over the head, but does manage to propel himself through the water fairly quickly, making up a little movement. PALAMARCHUK touching at the 150 mark now, makes the turn and is just under a second ahead, 0.74 of a second ahead of the Chinese swimmer, who will look to make it up in the closing 50. Bondarenko, certainly of Ukraine, the 32-year-old in lane 6, is third quickest. While the S1 swimmer, Aristeidis and MAKRODIMITRIS battling it out for 4th overall. But this is an intriguing battle for the gold medal here. Already golds in the 100 back and the 4x50 mixed relay for ZOU Liankang up against PALAMARCHUK, and the two are neck and neck. Different techniques, but similar results currently. I think the Chinese swimmer might be slightly quicker and perhaps even on world record pace here.
Well, the world record stands at a... Well, look at this. They're both well inside that world record of 4:12. A 3:49.37 for ZOU. Absolutely smashed the world record, and this is just the heats. A strong swim by PALAMARCHUK to finish in second. He looks in contention to win it on the third 50, but ZOU showing his experience as both swimmers bettered their personal best by such a margin. Coming home in third now is Bondarenko. Finished 6th in the 100-meter backstroke. He's going to finish third in the heats. But these swimmers will have to go again later on in the finals to determine who wins the medals. Bondarenko, the Ukrainian, finishes in third in this first of the two heats.
Let's a look at Aristeidis, the Israeli 7-time world champion, who's currently 5th. The man who won as far back as Athens gold in the 50 and 100 free. This is Aristeidis MAKRODIMITRIS of Greece, who will finish now. But the S1 swimmer, and the lower the number, the more severe the impairment in the classifications. Swimming in an S2 race, Aristeidis of Israel will come to the wall now. And a 5:20.43 is well off his personal best. He's a sub-5-minute swimmer normally, and also perhaps past his very best days of racing, now at 37.
3:49.37 for ZOU Liankang. Nobody had even got close to the 4-minute marker before. It's hard to comprehend just how much time both ZOU and PALAMARCHUK took off from their personal best. So I think either one of them would have thought that would be enough to win this heat.
Well, a European record then for PALAMARCHUK, because he doesn't get the recognition for going nearly 23 seconds below the existing world record, because the man in the pool alongside him just managed to sneak in ahead of him to claim the recognition for the world record. PALAMARCHUK will have to settle for the consolation of setting the European record in this classification and event.
Well, two swimmers